when I started this big kind of awakening within myself, like another level, I had this overwhelming feeling for months just to throw everything out. I only live in a little flat because I want to and I like it and it's just suits me, but it was still full of rubbish. You don't believe the number of things you kind of accumulate. And what I was going through was an inner clearing of everything out. What really matters to me? What is relevant? And so much doesn't matter. We hold things on within ourselves that don't matter and we get stressed about them. I was going to the bloody recycling tip day after day after day. They're saying, it's you again. Yeah, more stuff. After that I stopped because I had nothing else to throw out. I went through a process and, I'm quite a clean fella, but I'm not obsessed with it. But I wanted to cleaning everything constantly. And what I realized that I was doing is I was externalizing what was happening within me. And it was such a wonderful experience to clear out external expression of it, but the inner clutter, to start to realize what really matters. So much that winds us up and diverts us and pulls us into mind and stress doesn't matter. I have this thing. I say to people, if you were on your deathbed and had 10 minutes to live, would what's stressing you now matter? Well, no. Well, the great trick is bring that here into the now and don't let it matter now. Oh, well, what she said about me, it was disgusting. Doesn't matter. She'll say something else tomorrow. What does it matter? All it matters is we are consciousness having an experience. And we know that we're consciousness having an experience. And taking responsibility is taking power back. Actually, we are expressing an energetic, vibrational version of us all the time. It's called vibes. And if we could get into a real deep level of it, we'd realize what I call this magnetic attraction is actually creating our reality all the time. The manipulators know that. If they can bring you into certain states of being, certain states of stress, certain states of fear, they know that by doing that, you are going to generate the vibrational frequency of those emotional states, and you are going to draw other sinking energies, other stressful, fearful, emotional states towards you. And therefore, they are actually creating your reality by manipulating your state of being. They know how this works. And if we take responsibility, as Carl Jung said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul. But if we say, I am responsible for what I am creating, what is it about me that's pulling this in? You take responsibility, and what you're saying is, I have the power to control my reality. I've just got to take responsibility for what's happening and then realize why it's happening. And with that realization, the vibrational frequency I'm broadcasting changes, and we stop pulling that kind of thing into our lives anymore. We changed our reality.
And then comes a point when it's time for another stage to arise, where the dream of form is no longer, consciousness is beginning to awaken from complete identification with form. And that is happening to many humans. And this is why human beings are drawn to spiritual teachings, with the awakening from the dream of form. So, who am I? What does it mean, I? What is identity? What does it mean when I say I? What does it feel like? What is I? What am I? Now, most people, yet, if you ask them, who are you? They will define the word I in terms of form. They will say, well, obviously this body, that's I, which comes maybe first, and then there comes the mind with its accumulations, its accumulated, its habitual thought movements, its memories. There come the emotions that go with the thought movements, the psychological form of I. So they say, well, I am this body, then there's a name, which of course is just a sound. You say, John, I am John. And many people say they think that's already a big part of who they are when they can say their name. And, oh, okay. And then they add a little something else. I'm an architect. Oh, okay, we're getting even closer to who you are. And I'm a father, which, okay, good. And your age, okay, something that's okay. We're almost there now, just need a few more details, and then we know who you are. And so you can put it on a piece of paper, a summary of it, or if you want a detailed account of who you are, you can write down your life history in a book, and it becomes your autobiography. Oh, that's interesting. Now we know who you are. And if that's not enough, and if you think there may be hidden parts of me, then you can go to psychoanalysis for 10 years, and then all these hidden memories and hidden desires and feelings that you had when you were 4.5 years old towards your mother and your father and your grandmother, and what they all come up, and then you can add that, and then, okay, now I've got it. I've got my autobiography, and I've got, that's I'm me, I'm complete now. And then you look 50 years later, which is not much on a universal scale. 50 years is very little. I know that now. I thought when I was 20, 50 years was a lot. I'm a lot older than 50, by the way, but that's the body. The 50 years pass, and what's left of the body and the psychological me, that entity in the head with its history, what's left? Nothing.
This has happened because in so many ways people have put these things into your mind, what is good, what is bad, what is high, what is low, what is up, what is down. Because of this, you have never paid attention to every aspect of life. In the sense, maybe humanities people and lawyers, you never paid attention to these things. I spend a lot of time paying attention to all kinds of creatures, ants and grasshoppers and worms and everything. If you observe, let's say, an ant, or let's pick up something little more than an ant, like a grasshopper, it's easier to see him. If you look at him carefully, whoever created this grasshopper has paid as much attention to your grasshopper as they have paid to this one. Please pay attention and see. When the source of creation has given equal attention to ant and you, who the hell? Hell are you to think an ant is a lowly creature and you are some superhuman being? Why are you making this judgment? Creation has not made this judgment. You may think you're superior simply because you're in a latent manner, you're walking on this planet, but that's not true. The fact of the matter is like this. See, if all the worms on this planet, right now if all of them die, all the worms, in about 12 to 18 months, all life on this planet will cease, everything, including you and me. Suppose all the insects die today, in something like 2.5 to 4 years' time, all life will cease. But if all the human beings die, the planet will flourish. Yes, we make good manure. If human beings go away, right through this building trees will grow, isn't it? Yes or no? Everything will flourish. So, who the hell is telling you that you are the most significant life? This idea that the cosmos is human-centric is a stupid idea. In this cosmos, even this solar system is a tiny speck. Tomorrow morning if the entire solar system evaporates, nobody will notice it. That's how small it is. In that tiny speck, planet Earth is a microspeck. In that microspeck, Bengaluru is a super microspeck. In that, you are a very big person with great self-esteem. This is not a simple problem. People suffer this for their whole life without handling it. Essentially, it is just this. You have gotten yourself into a place where most human beings are in this place, you get yourself into a place where you cannot handle your own thought process and your emotion.